enemy ships approaching, Captain.
I knew this wasn't a good idea!
Hello ladies and gents, welcome on back to Between the Stars Chapter 6 Solar Siege. In this episode, we will be running the reunion quest where, by the end of this episode, we will be getting a brand new ship. If that sounds good to you, please help the channel by subscribing and hitting that like button and turning on notifications so I can continue to bring you guys the best content that I can. Alrighty folks, well, we are back in 10A at the Republic headquarters, and we got a little bit of chatting to do before I think we work things out. We get a new ship and get crazy. The Genesis should be coming to us very soon. Alrighty, headquarters. The crew carries an unconscious sheep on one of the stretchers while you push Logan in a wheelchair. You immediately see Mermaid Susan running towards you. Logan, what happened? Are you alright? I'll be fine, Susan. Don't worry. You should have seen it. Gears Ghost went crazy. Pulled out a gun, took out several children of the sun by himself. Bang, bang, bang. Dana nods and quickly joins in telling the feat. His happiness is contagious, and you smile slightly. You don't know much about Data, Mermaid, and Chip's past, but they all have the same admiration and affection for Logan. Same way he used to take care of Susan and you. He now also takes care of them. Falcon and Blaze are a few feet behind you, ignoring your conversation. The captain takes a drag on his cigar just before noticing you. He is an idiot for sure, but you will always be grateful for him saving Logan and the others. Must go to the command room. Turn one last time to say goodbye. Take good care of him. Both of you walk around the military base, which is much busier than it was several months ago when you returned from Sol Invictus. You have finally reached the command room, where you find a large table at which several of the Interstellar Republic officers are seated. One of them runs up to greet you. You're back! Bradley smiles at you despite the various bandages covering his body and new scars on his face. Sorry for everything that happened. If it hadn't been for me, Mason would still... Hey, it's not your fault, you hear me? You've risked your neck for all of us, and you've saved my life again. If it wasn't for you, I'd still be rotting in that damn cell. Wouldn't you be dead on the ship? Because that was where we saved you the first time. Is when you were an idiot, and we had to come in, kill everybody, and save you. Anyways, that's enough. I think we have more important matters to deal with. Please, have a seat. You can see Thompson, Ara, Raider, and many other officers you don't know, all sitting at the table. You take a seat and explain everything that happened at the AORUS station. The Red Tier stormed the station and completely destroyed it. We thought that they had found sheep before you, but I see that wasn't the case. So all this has been for nothing. You could have left him there, and the result would have been the same. It's not the way it works, man. It's about favors. We were the ones who took him out of that place. I know him well, and I know that he's a proud man. This will serve to further strengthen the relationship between the different factions of the Alliance. Whether he likes it or not, he is now in our debt. Yeah, guilt. Same thing. Sheep is a cruel and ruthless killer, Captain. Much of the Dome's inmates were part of his organization. Honor and duty fall outside his ethical code. We need them to win this war, Thompson. The Alliance must stand firm if we are to end the tyranny of Nardos. We must fend for ourselves. With the appointment of Bradley as the fleet's admiral, we'll once again unify our forces. Little by little, the different battlefronts are being liberated and our ships are regrouping. Soon, we'll be ready for the final attack. It's not my place to lead the Republic. If there's anything of the galaxy left to defend, it's thanks to Captain here and his crew. We've already discussed it, Captain Bradley. There's no one in the entire Interstellar Republic closer to Admiral Mason. No one will question the succession. This is the fastest way to regain control of the fleet. Bradley looks at you, waiting for your response. Yeah, we set this shiz up. I mean, this was us. We cannot waste time on useless power struggles. You have the support of the captains and Mason-friendly officers. We need you up front, Bradley. Wait for the arrival of the rest of the commanders before the appointment. Meanwhile, Captain Falcon, the Interstellar Republic, has fulfilled its agreement with the Renegade Army. We look forward to the same collaboration from you. Falcon shrugs. You already know him enough to know that he doesn't care in the least about everything that's going on. Captain Marco headed for Dun Marad to report the situation. Right now, the leaders of the Renegade Army should be in a meeting preparing their next move. Anyway, Dr. Banner and Susan White have made great strides on the Genesis, but it's not ready yet. We'll continue to rebuild it while we wait for word from the Renegade Army and our men return to headquarters. What about Sheep? We will keep the terms of the alliance. We don't know. My men have taken him to the medical center, but he's still unconscious. We'll have to wait and see wait until he wakes up to talk to him. The hearing continues for a while, going over the strategy to adopt on different active fronts. Although all of these battles are important, what is essential is that the entire galaxy unites forces, or you will not be able to stop Nardos. With that, we continue the hearing. We'll wait for any news and continue with the training of the recruits. If in a couple of weeks, the selection tests will be held. Yeah, and after this, we all go sleep. Silence falls between you and Thompson, allowing only the sound of the elevator to be heard. I don't understand, Commander. Why me? I don't know either, Captain. After the liberation of Sheep, the attack on Don Marad is imminent. The Renegade Army's base operation is in the sights of the Children of the Sun, and you know well as I do that they won't be able to stop them on their own. Then answer my question. The Renegade Army demanded it. They're willing to maintain the alliance and support the attack in Sol Invictus if you're the one to lead the reinforcement. The decision has been made. I don't like it, but Bradley and several of the commanders are content. They believe we need the Renegade Army on our side to get Nardos, even if it comes at the cost of sacrificing our men for those who until 2 days ago were our enemies. Elevator door opens and you exit down the long corridor towards security hatch. Our best engineers have doubled shifts, and thanks to the direction of Dr. Banner and his friend Susan White, the repair of the Genesis is virtually complete. Yeah. Riley's orders are for you to leave Don Marad with her and defend the Renegade Army headquarters. In addition, he is to escort Sheep to the drop-off point. Apparently, the Red Tier and the mercenary clans are aware of what happened at Horus Station and await the return of their leader. That's right, Bradley and Radar are talking to him right this moment. You'll have time to catch up later. Right now, Dr. Banner and his team are waiting for you. The hatch opens and you can see the Genesis in all its glory. Engineers are still working on it, although there is no longer the slightest trace of the battle damage. John Banner steps out, along with Susan and a couple of other men. Captain, good to see you again. As you shake hands, you notice the firmness of John's grip. He's a far cry from the bag of bones you met in. Yeah. He seems to have fully recovered from the confinement in the weapon factory. I guess I still haven't been able to thank you properly for everything you did for me. My rescue at the protection of my wife, Anna, the rebellion against Flynn. One way or another, if it hadn't been for you, I would have ended up in the hands of the Children of the Sun. No, I don't think so. Not many captains would be able to disregard a direct order from the fleet admiral himself. It could have been any other captain in your place, but it was you. I don't believe in things like fate, but undoubtedly chance is an especially capricious thing. Wouldn't you say, Dr. Banner? Nothing, I'm just rambling. Do me a favor and follow me, Captain. We have a lot to talk about. You follow Banner and the others and enter the Genesis. Exhaustive repairs have modified much of the interior, but you can still recognize perfectly every corridor, every room, as well as a symbol of the Republic. This ship has been your home for years, and you have had thousands of adventures on board. Now, it is all you have left of Scott and his crew. To see her again unharmed is tremendously comforting. It seems I'm not the only one for whom this ship brings back memory. Yeah, let's go there. It's funny, when people think of the Genesis, they all think of the symbol of peace of her military might. The incredible feat Scott and her crew accomplished on board. You know what comes to mind for me? The continued restarts of the heater while you showered. Ooh. The hellish screeching of the plumbing, the strange taste of our coffee pot. Ugh. Everyone hated the damn coffee but Scott. She'd go ballistic if anyone suggested changing it. Thompson's informed me of everything that's happened in Sol Invictus, Captain. Now that Nartos has one of the cores, we are a great disadvantage. Vanlith and his team face a huge technological challenge, but sooner or later they'll succeed in reproducing the 2 remaining Hydra cores, and then all be lost. Possible to know, the memory of extraction Vanlith was conducting in Sol Invictus will have made it much easier to reproduce the rest of the cores. I don't know how much information they have at their disposal, but we can't wait any longer. Memories of your last battle with the Emperor came to mind. I have seen what Nartos is capable of. It may already be too late. What if I told you we still had a chance? I'll be frank, Captain Smurf. Captain Smurf, maybe that's what I should have just called him this whole time. We're at an impasse. Miss White and I have run dozens of diagnostic tests of the core and its architecture, and while the rest of the systems appeared fully functional, the personality matrix reads are especially unstable. One look at your face prompts Banner to proceed with explanations. This is the rest of the subsystems that make up what we might call the rational part of my system. Memory, emotional response, logical capability. A lot of intricate processes that differentiate my cores from any other interface. In a standard system, it's already a complex technology, but in the case of Hydra, it goes a step further. I could do it if I were a common core and we were talking about, but I'm afraid in this case it's not that simple. Hydra only responds to her own will. Despite being corrupt, she has managed to block every attempt we've made to restructure her programming. Why you tell me this? Because there may still be a chance. In essence, Hydra and Mai are 2 different parts of the same consciousness. The former functions similarly to the human subconscious, managing primal and instinctive processes. By contrast, Mai is the rational and logical part that maintains control and stability of the system. Both parts are codependent and cannot exist without the other. Hydra is perfectly capable of adopting a new personal interface, integrating with new registers and system memories. We could get it to assimilate an identical reproduction of its Maya core, the system would become much more stable and manageable. Firstly, Hydra is a capricious and unstable entity by default. She's capable of repairing herself, capable of assimilating a new matrix, but she has to want to cooperate with us. So far, she's rejected everything we've tried. Secondly, even if we succeed, this will be nothing more than a stopgap. The bond Maya has with you and your crew is what will keep Hydra's destructive instincts at bay. This will buy us some time, but I don't want to mislead you, Captain. No matter how strong the core's self-control has become, sooner or later it'll give in to its dark side and lose all semblance of logic and reasoning. Ugh. Banner smiles. You may not understand the technical details, but it is all clear to you. It is risky and there is little chance of success, but there is no other way to stop the children of the sun. Banner hands the core of Susan to who separates it from you on the way to lower deck. That's why I have sent for you, Captain. Our attempts to access the core have failed miserably. You are our last hope. Me. No one else can reach the rational part of the core. Hydra feels total apathy towards me and any engineer who tries to manipulate her. It was different with Scott, though. Maybe because of the time they spent together. But Jane always knew how to keep her under control. You've lived with her for years, Captain. If she won't answer to you, she won't answer to anyone. The bridge hatch opens and immediately images of Scott and her crew flood your mind. Although some of the equipment has been upgraded, it still looks identical to what you remember. Your eyes scan the place till Banner invites you to sit in the captain's chair. Ooh, that would be a little rough, wouldn't it? Take a deep breath. Okay, Cap. You ready? You may initiate Miss White. We're ready now. The terminal turn on and you look at Banner in surprise. The program starts up, displaying the ship's status and the indicators begin to climb to the correct values. Everything seems in place until a rumble under the floor causes you and Banner to grab hold of each other to keep from falling. Dr. Banner, it's starting! Something is wrong. The values begin to dance back and forth just as the alarm sound echoes through the room. I'm pulling the plug. Don't do it. Susan, Captain, the My system is operational. You must talk to her. Emergency lights dye the room red. The ship shudders while Banner continues to stare impassively at you. Nothing happens. Several joints in the pipes shoot out, causing steam to start to pour out. Why would you just have random steam pipes? Anyways. Readings are at maximum, Dr. Banner. It's too dangerous to continue. We have no choice. We have to keep trying, Captain. I joined the crew right after your victory at the Battle of Nashak. That's as close as I can get to that. Remember that time Ryder and Burton stole from the hold? I don't think I ever apologized to you for damaging the cameras. I tried to dissuade them, but they blackmailed me. Remember that? Scott discovered us and handcuffed us all night while she and the rest of the crew devoured our loot. Levels are stabilizing. I know this. What happened to you on Tesset Stella, and sure you're furious as I am. The children of the sun have gotten the upper hand and Nordos threatens the future of the Republic. I know revenge shouldn't be the reason to fight, but Nartos has to pay for what he did to us. With your help, we'll show Nartos what a terrible mistake he's made. Together, we'll make the children of the sun regret leaving the last two members of Jane Scott's crew alive. What do you say? The alarm stops sounding and monitors that are still in one piece come back on. Although the command room has sustained damage, everything now appears to be under control. Amazing. What the hell just happened? Hydra has responded favorably to you, Captain. We've tried reactivation at least a dozen times, but this is the first time the system has maintained these levels of stability. Hard to say. But now that Hydra's response is favorable, we can move forward. We'll transfer a duplicate of the personal matrix from your My core to the Hydra core to reestablish its base functions. In view of the results of this test, Hydra may allow the data dump. As soon as we are done, we can work on safety protocols to overcome the energy threshold that the ship draws from the Hydra core. This will slightly increase the core's instability, but the Genesis will boast an offensive power never before seen. This time, we can't afford one more defeat. Leave in your hands, Banner. You get to your room and throw yourself on the bed. Although you try to stay positive, know it's the right thing to do, doubts assail you again and again. You are risking everything on this mission. Yeah, just like when we went after him last time. The event that Hydra rejects the duplicate interface of your My core, you have lost any chance of controlling Nardos. Even if it goes well, you and your crew will be aboard a bomb that could go off at any time. Jeez, if you were to lose control of the Genesis during the mission, right now, there is nothing you can do about it. It's best to get some rest. In the morning, you will inform the crew of the situation. You have no choice. Sheep is the only person capable of leading 100 criminal clans and make them cooperate with the Republic. If the alliance had been possible, it is only because Sheep's hatred for the children of the sun is greater than his hatred for you. The Captain Fulton and Lieutenant Jackson will come with me to Samaria. The small group, the better the chance we have of going unnoticed. As for the rest of you, you should accompany Captain Markle to Don Marad and begin defense preparations. Is that clear? You may nod and prepare to jump. Though you prefer not to delay your arrival in Don Marad, Sheep may be right. Witcher himself admitted at the horror station that the children of the sun had infiltrators inside the Renegade army. The only way to make sure that Sheep gets to the Renegade army alive, take him yourself. Alright folks, there it is. We are back in the Genesis. Yeah, we're in the Genesis. Is that, yeah, okay. Let's see. Now, the question is, what do we want to put in it? I'll have to think about that. Hold on a second. That's why we go to the Allied station real quick and check out our stash. So I have put some things aside, which I would suggest you do too. Hold on. All right, so now we got to head back to Roya, and that I think is Children of the Sun territory. It'll be interesting.
Captain, I'm detecting warp readings in the vicinity.
Falkman, in position!
All right, what's going on?
Holy cow, it's the Genesis! I thought our scouts were high in Satar resin. What business could the Republic possibly have in Samaria?
They're with me, Patches.
What? Sheep? Unbelievable. The big boss aboard the Republic's flagship. Wow, how things change.
Spare us your musings. We have pressing matters on the surface.
Yeah, the thing is, since you've been gone, things have been going well for us. With Fist at the helm, we're back in business. Now, the tier kills and steals as much as it wants, as it always should have been.
Uh-oh.
Nothing personal, Sheep, but this whole business with the war, alliances, and Aquinian revenge? Well, you know where you can shove it.
They're activating their weapons, Captain!
Of course they are.
Open fire and hold your position.
Now you pay the price.
The others will execute you when they find out about this.
They'll never know, Sheep. You're finished. The red tier belongs to us now.
Ooh, I'm going after this guy. Whoa! Let's see. I got a new super weapon. It did not go after the ship. Oh, look, where's it going? Where'd my weapon go? Wow, that was just... That was my nuclear warhead that just went boy boy. Oh well. Done the old-fashioned way.
More enemy ships approaching, Captain.
I knew this wasn't a good idea!
We can hold them off. Let's stand together and focus our fire on the same enemy.
You're dead, Patches! You and the entire Fist unit!
Get rid of them already!
Oh, someone actually killed someone. Besides me, amazing.
There are hardly any enemy reinforcements left, Captain.
We'll make it. Don't slow down.
God damn it! Finish Sheep off, you useless bastards!
Oh, shit. Maybe that was my, my nuclear warhead, that big explosion we just had. I don't know, all
Alert
things...
Fist! Tell him to send reinforcements! We need more ships!
Where do you think you're going? You're not done yet!
Spread out. Don't let them run away.
Area clear.
So, a safe meeting point, right, Sheep?
Looks like my dogs have been on their own too long, Captain. All they need is a little reminder of who's eating them.
Anyway, now it's too late to back out. What do you think, Falknin?
It's a wonderful plan, Captain. I can't wait to land and get skinned alive.
That's the spirit. May, set course for the coordinates Sheep has given us. Let's land.
What I tried to shoot off here was the nuclear missile launcher. Unfortunately, that did not work out quite so well for us. I don't know. We still got some big battles coming up, so you make sure you want to hit that like button, subscribe to the old channel, help support me in space games so I can continue to bring them to you. And as always, keep your heads down, your ships of doom up, and let me help you master the game.